Sunday mornings don't feel the way they should. I'm not telling jokes to all my friends. You said we last, even if they all split, we'd be the lucky ones. We'd never call it quits.
Singer-songwriter Karra Rhodes is with me. Hello to you. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Chris. It's nice to meet you too.
Congratulations on your debut single. I was listening to it last night, and as I was saying to you off air, I was trying to compare you to what other artists you sound like, but you don't sound like anyone else. And that's a good thing because it makes you unique.
It is a good thing because if you could compare me to somebody else, then you wouldn't need to listen to me. So I'm quite happy with that. As long as it doesn't belong in the trash, that's good.
Exactly. So tell me about the single.
So the single itself, it was sort of my first journey into country music. Country's always been my heart and soul, country pop. But I was working with EDM producer before. So he was fantastic, but hard to meet in the middle. So this was my first track working with a producer, Greg Haber, who could give what I wanted and bring it to life. So the song itself is about sort of getting over a former love, but not really moving on, but knowing you should, and you want to be that girl that puts on the dress, throws back the shots, and shake it off as you'll hear it. So it's fun, it's upbeat, with a little bit of, sadness.
Now, what's the single called again? Oh, I don't want to get it wrong.
Oh, sorry, it's called Why Can't I Love You Less?
Why Can't I Love You Less? Yes, I've been in that position before. I know what that's like. Now, let's just quickly talk about your producer, Greg, because he's not just Greg, the producer. I mean, we're talking about somebody who has produced some of the world's greatest artists like, I think the Manage Street Preachers and Mel C. So when you meet him for the first time, probably knowing that his background's pretty amazing, were you nervous or were you just ready, set to go? Do you know what I mean?
I think the great thing is I kind of came into the industry sort of not knowing exactly who's who and just made some really good, genuine connections. It wasn't really until I'd been working with him for a bit that I was like, oh, you're kind of a big deal. Should I roll out the red carpet for you? And he loved that. So he would love to hear all that. Fantastic. And as we started working together, I realized I'd hit it pretty good with him. He's incredible. He's exactly what I needed for my music, and I couldn't have done it without him.
When I was listening to the track, I mean, he layers everything so beautifully, doesn't he? And I wondered what your thoughts were hearing your voice sound so layered, so crystal clear, beautifully for the first time, because it sounds great. Did you sort of think, wow, that's my voice, but that's my voices, if you know what I mean?
Yes, I did, because again, working with a fantastic producer before, but with EDM, you hear your voice sort of morphed a little bit, but to hear it back in the way that Greg does it and layers it, and it's so clear. It's not muffled, it's not hidden away, and it actually sounds better than, it's still hard. Every singer will say it. When you hear back your own voice, you're still like, oh, it's my own voice. But I was like, oh, okay, I can handle this.
Of course you can handle this. But doesn't it sound great? It sounds so great. It is, and I'm not just saying this, it just sounds perfect, right?
It sounds good. It sounds perfect. I'll give him that. And I always say the artist is great in their own right, but it's the producer, it's the team behind them that make it into music. So I owe so much credit to the team.
Hey, listen, 6 days ago, I'm going to quote you here. I did a bit of stalking. You went onto TikTok and you said, you wrote the date March the 1st, that's today, good. No matter what happens with this release, this will be a defining moment. What do you mean by that, I wondered?
It's my first step into saying I can do something. A lot of time, and sorry, I know a lot of males feel this way too, but especially from a female perspective, we put other people first, and we take back our own light and we say, okay, I'll let you shine instead. This was the first time I said, I'm going to do something that I love. I'm going to do it properly. Even if it felt a bit selfish, it was my moment of, I can do this, I want to do it, and I will do it. And that's, anybody who knows me, that's a big, big, big step.
Well, all power to you, because I think your voice is sensational. I was listening to just a couple of other songs I managed to find on YouTube, and they're highly listenable, and I think you're wonderful. Now, if people want to try and download it or stream it, what's the best thing to do?
So it's on really every streaming place. So Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. I mean, hit up Spotify. That would be amazing if you added it to your playlist, if you listen to it regularly. I mean, just share it, listen to it. It's under Karra Rhodes, which is spelled Karra, Rhodes, Rhodes. So a little bit different to the two ways you usually spell that. So
Well, that's good. That's a pop star name right there in the making.
yeah, it was a bit. I mean, Kara's my own name and the way it's spelled, but Rhodes. I was messing around with sort of different names, and Rhodes is actually a piano brand, and it also was a play on every country song usually involves Rhodes, so it was a bit of a mix of piano brand and country roads.
Love it. Karra Rhodes, really appreciate your time. Congratulations on the single, and I hope for the very best success for you. I really do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chris.